Okay. Another article that tries to uh, tackle an issue, but it can't go all the way. It can't be fully truthful, and often it gets the cart before the horse. Rise in single people who earn less worries the researchers. Why does it worry them? Because they're going to be bad consumers. Now, look, I don't know what this woman's name, how to say it, that is. Jessica Kashube, I'm going to call her Kashube, has relied on economic advantages of being married to pursue her career. Yeah, exactly. Marriage is an advantage to women and a disadvantage to men. During almost a dozen years of marriage, the extra income of her husband's more stable jobs, of course, that's why she's with him, and his health insurance, it's always his health insurance, isn't it? Has enabled Kashubi to move from Montana to Alabama to Florida, advancing her career as a theater administrator in the arts profession, known for low pay and instability. So typical, right? The guy has to have a stable job. He works for a living, and he's subsidizing this woman who's basically playing, and her job has notoriety, so it has status. Each move allowed me to make another jump in my career path, which is a bad thing for the man, because if her career path makes her, greater than him in finances someday, she will dump him. He's always had a stable income, said Kachube, 35, who lives in Metro Orlando. Of course, and again, if he didn't, she wouldn't be with him. Because I had health insurance and a spouse that had an income, we could always pay our bills. We weren't rolling in money, but it was a privilege. Yes, women are privileged over men. A new study from Pew Research Center released Tuesday underscores the economic advantages of being married for women. It's a complete disadvantage for men. Marriage for men is just to keep the woman around. That's all he gets, which is garbage to me, especially as the share of single people in the US has grown over the past 3 decades. If people are single, it's because the women want to be single. Trust me, the guys want to be married. The flip side, of course, is that it's harder to be single, researcher says, since the unpartnered population earns less and has less education. Now, this is the cart before the horse business. Unpartnered men, in particular, are less likely to be employed. No, unemployed men are less likely to be partnered. See, so this is the bait and switch these people do all the time. The share of the US population not living with the romantic partner during the prime working years has grown from 29% to 38% from 1990 to 2019. That's about, okay, so 30 years. So it's about a generation and a half. So each generation gets worse, of course. As women out earn men, they discard men. That's why there are more singles. Around 28% of single people between ages 25 and 54 are living with their parents, compared to 2% of married or partnered couples. Well, yes, because they earn less money, and not because they're not married. It's because the women marry men with money. So it has nothing to do with marriage in that way. It's that more and more people are making less, and marriage drops accordingly. Additionally, the growth of the unpartnered population over almost 30 years has been sharper in men than women. Doesn't make much sense, does it? Considering there's as many men and women. So if women are getting married, they've got to get married to a guy, don't they? Yeah, the odd lesbian, we can discard. So something's wrong with what they just said here. According to Pew study, which used decennial census and American Community Survey data, something like, I suspect maybe they're putting in divorcees in there as single. Policymakers should take notice since the unpartnered population is generally economically disadvantaged and less healthy compared to married people or those living with romantic partners, said Richard Fry, a senior economist at Pew. See, this is a bait and switch too. They're less healthy. Why are they less healthy? I suspect they're putting in the broken-hearted, divorced men in with the single men. When we look at their health outcomes, they are more likely to engage in risky behavior such as binge drinking. Single adults don't live as long, Fry said. Single adults are an at-risk population. Well, for one thing, if you're a single person, you party more. Once you get married, a lot of guys are out there partying, drinking to meet girls, right? So once you got the girl, you want to give up on that. Plus, if you have children, you have to settle down anyway, right? Bella DiPaolo, a research psychologist in the University of California, Santa Barbara, cautioned that this Pew report could further stigmatize the unpartnered population if it is used as a way of telling a misleading story about those poor single people and what is supposedly wrong with them. She's only worried about Bella, it's a woman. She's only worried about women getting stigmatized. Anything women do or should be just good, no matter what. By the way, it's hard to say, this bullshit of strong and independent when you're a single woman does, more poorly than a married one. So that's an issue for them too. Yes, single people are paid less, have fewer resources available to them when they need help, and are disadvantaged in other ways too. But some of that, maybe not a lot of it, is based on discrimination against single people, not on anything that's supposedly wrong with them, DiPaolo said in the email. When she says people, now again, what they're obscuring is that men are the ones that are discriminated against. Employers prefer to hire married men over single men. They do not have this bias against women. You've got to know this. The rise in single people has been driven by a 3-decade decline in marriage. The share of adults ages 25 to 54 who are married dropped from 2/3 in 1990 to just over half in 2019. And the share of those people who have never married grew from 17% to 33%. While the unpartnered population includes people who are here, let's look at this. While the unpartnered population includes people who are separated, divorced, or widowed, all the growth comes from people who have never been married, the Pew report said. They're contradicting themselves. They purposely, as I suggested, included divorced, widowed, and separated people. So these people who drink more and are unhealthy, guess what? They're married. There were men that were married, and now they're widowed, or they're divorced. They were probably paying alimony and child support. And so, of course, their mental and physical health suffers. The growth in unpartnered population has been sharper in men than women. Again, that doesn't make much sense considering it's 50-50 population, does it? It was around 29% for both sexes in 1990, but it jumped to 39% for men and 69% for women in 2019. My guess is maybe some of these separated men, the women went and found other husbands, other suckers. Single women earned more in 1990, but their advantage was reversed in 2019 as partnered women became more likely to move from the workforce. Of course. Women want to get married so they don't have to work. Single men, meanwhile, have fallen further behind partnered men in earnings and education. No, they're getting the cart before the horse again. Men who are ahead in earnings and education get partnered. Do you understand? Researchers have concluded it's a combination of high income men being more attractive as partners. There they go. And cohabiting, boosting men's economic fortunes. Yes, the second one was bullshit. The first one is the high income men are attractive to women. And so they get partnered. Of course, it skews these stats they're putting out. We have a chicken or the egg problem. It's a little bit of both, especially for guys. No, it isn't. It isn't. This is a cart before the horse situation. Guys either earn money and get the wife or they don't. They are assessed on their financial capabilities. Yes, they're admitting it. So some of this is because some of it, all of it, because unpartnered guys tend to have lower earnings. No, again, it's because lower earning guys get unpartnered. They are having a harder time. They are considered a less suitable partner. It's low earnings and being less educated that cause them to be unpartnered. They're half right. It's just low earnings. Being less educated is a part of status, but a high school dropout that's making six figures will get married. He will partner. So, despite the disadvantages, many single people find that the rewards of being unattached outweigh economic benefits of being partnered. She's probably talking about women. See, notice she'll add everybody, but sometimes she's really talking about women, and other times she's really talking about men. The women don't really want to get together with men and are willing to live an easier lifestyle, with like part-time job or whatever, and deal with the man. And they're not expected to succeed in life, to be accepted by society. So it's a stress-free for the women. That includes DePaulo, who wrote an essay for Medium last month, celebrating her 50th anniversary as being single as she turned 68. There you go, guys. This DePaulo woman got herself a decent, it's a desk job, and she's having a good time. She doesn't want to be with a man. The only way she'd be with a man if a man was making skyrocket money. Please send gifts, not to me, but to every person who is thriving in their single life. Also, because she can't find high enough status man to get married to, she wants everyone to think that her single life is really good. Single people who are living fully, joyfully, and unapologetically. Yeah, unapologetically, she's talking about the women. Men will not get these kudos. I guarantee you. People for whom single life is their best life, I call them single at heart, congratulate them for never caving to the relentless pressure to put on a romantic partner in the center of their life. Yeah, she's talking strictly about the women there. Also, this article at one hand is saying that the single people are, suffering physically from health and earnings. And now she's trying to say they're loving it. Do you see something wrong with this? Just let me get this back. Single people are doing quite well in many ways, despite all the ways they are unfairly disadvantaged relative to people who are married or coupled. Well, actually, there is, they give tax breaks to married people, but other than that, I don't think it's unfair. And as you can see, this is the bullshit guys have to hear in these articles. Oh, notice these people are all over the place. They want to bring up singlehood and yet also say it's terrible. And they also put both genders in every situation, but they're so obvious that some cases are for men and other cases are for women. So, I mean, she's saying, oh, look, we're all, it's so great we're all single, yet researchers are worried. Why are they worried? Because, of course, they want people to be consumers. And it's not going to be this way. I just say, let it be this way. Let it be this way. I prefer the honesty of how things are. I prefer the honesty of women just saying, yeah, we never wanted to be with men anyway. But I would like to see a lot more honesty, like these guys just coming to terms and saying, yeah, I desperately want to be with women and they don't want me. And maybe these guys finally can break out and say, okay, there's got to be some better way to living other than making this woman or a woman my sole purpose in life. But anyway, these articles never get to the truth. They're never going to be truthful. So I'm telling you the truth. Thank you.